Hello, hope you guys are all doing well. In this episode for 10th November, it was pretty good. We're going to talk about Mercedes. She's made a return to the village. Goldie was not happy. She was not happy at all because she found out that Bobby was responsible for Silver's death. Silver was Goldie's brother, adoptive brother, and it was a lot of drama between Mercedes and Goldie. And I personally think Goldie reacted more. She didn't do anything wrong. She reacted very rightly on her side, and Mercedes, because she's the direct McQueen, and kind of like the center McQueens where they first arrived at Hollyoaks. She gets more of a easy time and a leeway with the other McQueens, especially with Nana McQueen. John Paul's obviously her own actual brother. Teresa's always on Mercedes' side, and unfortunately Goldie would have a tough time with them, and because they all both called an emergency meeting with the family, and they all had a verdict. They were all kind of shocked to find out that Bobby's the one that's killed Silver, indirectly. You guys know. And but then after some minutes of talking, they all seemed like they were ready to forgive Mercedes, and they can't exactly kick Mercedes out where she's supposed to go. Goldie's livid, and to be honest, let's picture being in Goldie's shoes, that your brother's been killed by Mercedes' son, and that the whole family's kind of looking over it, and they're allowing them to be at the same house again. And John Paul did say something like, well, he needs professional help, I think. And I think he needs a bit more than professional help, because this guy's Bobby kid, he needs, I don't know the best situation, but if I was Goldie, I personally would not be happy. So I can very much understand Goldie in that sense. And unfortunately Mercedes got her way again with the family, because like I said earlier, all those points, and I don't know where this is going to go to. I think there's always going to be a rift between Mercedes and Goldie, no matter how good things are. Sometimes, like, have a good days and bad good days, especially. Don't think Goldie will ever forget that Bobby's the one that's responsible for Silver's dying, and especially when there's video evidence as well, and the whole family choosing to ignore it, in her eyes. And they are, let's be honest, they are kind of ignoring it. They are sad about Silver because he's such a great guy, but then they're ignoring this situation because it's too close to home, because Mercedes, they have too much love for Mercedes, and honestly, she's very lucky, Mercedes, that's what I can say. Tough times for the McQueens. Even Prince, Goldie's son, he was like, in the end, kind of, voting that Mercedes and Bobby should stay in the house, because where else are they going to go, etc. Yeah, we're going to move on to Perry and the triangle with Nadira and Juliet. That's kind of funny to see as well. I think Perry brought over a basket. I think Juliet said a fruit basket, and Juliet said she's kind of having a duvet day, but it turns out she's having a duvet day with Nadira, and they're both under the covers, and Nadira rolled out, and Perry saw everything. That was kind of funny. I think she's trying hard to get back with Juliet. She's and Juliet's attention especially. So she's kind of playing a little bit of the long game, but she's a little bit frustrated as well with the whole situation. Actually, I'm beginning to like Nadira's character more. She seems very laid back and chilled now. At first, she was had her eye on Perry, but now she's being really nice, and I actually kind of like Nadira now. And the funny thing is, they actually get along, those three, in general. But obviously, Perry's got other motive. Juliet seems like, if Perry was to initiate something, Juliet would act and probably get back to that. get back together, but it all looks bad for Nadira. That's what I'm trying to say. Doesn't look good for Nadira because we all know that there's a stronger link between Juliet and Perry. I think in my previous episode review, I've said there seems like there's going to be a twist. Like, for me, anyway, you guys know I don't watch spoilers, but my own inclination is telling me that there's going to be a twist between, like, there's going to be multiple relationships. Like, Juliet's probably going to go out secretly with Perry, or Nadira might even go out with Perry. I don't know. There just seems like there's gonna something happen there. My instincts are telling me, but either way, it's an interesting and funny scene, and especially when Perry wore the gym gear and ready to go out to ready to go gym with Leela. Leela was kind of amazed as well that Perry wants to go gym. I found that kind of funny, and yeah, I think Lizzie's sister obviously kind of advised Perry to slow down and just take it easy a bit, I think, in so many words. So, and in this picture you can see Eric asking for a job from Grace. Don't know what it is about this character, but he's very good at acting and he generally gives me the creeps, and this is me, a guy. I'm pretty sure I don't know how female viewers are finding this guy. The way he smiles, the way he writes his message in the creepy group chat. And the fact that he's got a job now at the loft. Even the weird thing is, it's not funny, sorry. The weird thing is, Grace, she feels a bit uncomfortable around Eric. You can tell there's a vibe that's off with her and Eric. You can tell she's not totally comfortable with him. Yet she just gave him a job and just trusts him so easily. I don't know. Maybe he's too good at his predatory skills, but I don't know. I found that very amateur from Grace's side. But again, this is probably just showing us how skilled these predators are. And obviously, who knows what's going to happen once he's started that trial at the loft. I think Grace has made a big mistake there. I want to finally wrap up talking about Tony, putting his efforts with son, Beau. I think that's pretty decent of Tony, trying to get to know him, because obviously he had Harry, his son. He lost his son Harry previously, and he explained in the episode he's only had a few years with Harry. So I like that he opened up with his son Beau, and Beau's kind of listening in, so he's not being too resentful now. And it's just life, isn't it? Some of those things probably out of control. Tony wants to make up to it. Maybe Beau's gonna let him in slowly. Also, he's made a good friend, James Nightingale, and I think Beau's straight. And obviously James overheard the conversation between Tony and Beau talking about his previous son Harry being gay, and I think James thought that he only came in at the end bit, and then he thought Tony was talking about Beau being gay, and then he came on to Beau. Kind of embarrassing, and then he went off. And but I think Hollyoaks should have just kept them as friends, because they seem like they even in real life they just seem like the actors get on really well, and I think Hollyoaks have missed a key here. Not everyone that you come in contact with, there needs to be a romantic relationship or a spark. And I think Hollyoaks need to focus on creating great friendships. I know there are many, but especially with new characters, and if the characters really bond well and the actors, they get along really well and there's a chemistry there, there's magic there, keep them as friends. There's no point going down the relationship line and kind of ruining that. That's a wrap. Peace.